29th seed. Wimbledon. Filipino first. Never. Not the first time this year. First in recorded history. Not a single Filipino player has ever walked in seeded in more than a century of that competition. Not one. The greatest Filipino athlete of all time, Manny Pacquiao, expressed his pride in her on national television after they informed him. Her age is 21. Her grandfather, who is no longer with us to witness all of this, taught her tennis. She's only getting started. What you should know about tennis and the Philippines is as follows. Filipinos have role models in every other important sport. Do you play basketball? It is the foundation of your entire civilization. Fighting. Pacquiao is available to you. However, tennis? Women's tennis professionals? No one was present. There had never been a Filipino woman in the WTA Top 100. As a seeded player, none have ever advanced to a Grand Slam main tournament. You couldn't find a route, a blueprint, or an older player to consult. How did you accomplish it? How does it feel? How do you handle difficult situations? Nothing was present. Therefore, a young girl in Quezon City was not following in anyone's footsteps when she picked up a tennis racket at the age of 4 and fell in love with the sport. She was going to create her own. Alex Eala is her name. The majority of people outside of the Philippines are still unfamiliar with that name. They're going to. She was raised in a Pasig country club. Tennis is never that easy, so I'm not a wealthy child with an easy life. Her first coach wasn't a professional. He had never played on a tour. Her granddad was him. Roberto Maniego was his name. He was referred to by everyone as Lolo Bob. He loved the game and his grandchildren more than anything else. He was an amateur club player. On that Pasig court, he arrived each day with a basket of balls and fed them to young Alex and her brother Miko. No excuses, no days off, every day. Just a granddad who had faith in something he was still unable to validate. She won Les Petites Aisies, a prominent juvenile competition in France, when she was 12. There was an observer at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. They gave her a full scholarship to attend one of the world's top tennis academies. When she was 13, she packed a bag and headed out of the house. Consider this for a moment. No Filipino player had ever done this before, and she was 13 years old, in a foreign nation, with a different language and culture. There was no one to call who knew exactly what she was entering. After leaving the Pasig court and the grandfather with a basket of balls, she took a plane to Spain to discover her true nature. Lolo Bob also remained. In 2019, he passed away. He was blind to what was about to happen. He was never present at Wimbledon. He didn't witness any of it. However, she retained every lesson he imparted to her. The tennis community began to take notice of Alex Eala around 2025. She was winning matches in minor competitions and moving up the rankings. Her name was well known within the sport. She was virtually unknown outside of the sport and the Philippines. Miami followed. She was a wild card for the 2025 Miami Open. In other words, they gave her a spot because they wanted her to be in the draw even if she didn't qualify. How did she rank at the time? Roughly 140th in the world. 140th. The world's top players were the ones she was going to confront. She defeated the 5th-ranked Madison Keys. Then she onto the court against Iga Swiatek, the second-ranked player in the world, a multiple Grand Slam champion who had been ruling women's tennis for years. She was defeated by Alex Eala, a 19-year-old wild card from the Philippines who was rated 140th in the world. It was practically a national holiday in the Philippines. Social media took off. She was the talk of every sports channel. She was no longer merely a tennis player. She served as a symbol. She was evidence. She was the response to a query. 4 years, 115 million people have been wondering if any of us could truly compete at the top level of international sport. Only a few weeks after Miami, Rome hosted the Italian Open, and the entire globe was observing. They sought to determine whether Miami's success was genuine or the result of a fortunate run. Additionally, Marta Kostyuk defeated Alex Eala 6-0, 6-1. The first 10 games were losses for her. Rome's audience watched 10 consecutive games, and the cameras recorded every second. On live television, The girl who had just defeated the world number 2 was being demolished in less than an hour. Suddenly, the question that all doubters had been waiting to ask became extremely loud. Was Miami an anomaly? After Rome, Alex Eala accomplished the following. Nothing dramatic, no declaration that she was changing her game, firing her coach, or reinventing herself, no news conference where she vowed retaliation, no emotional breakdown. She returned to her task in the quiet, meticulous manner that Lolo Bob had taught her. Keep your feet on the ground, be coachable, and continue to work. Then came 2020's grass season. She traveled to Birmingham, England, and won her second professional championship. Then, as a wild card once more, she traveled to Berlin. A player in their 30s who was about to a WTA 500 tournament that featured 2 Grand Slam winners, Elena Rybakina, ranked 2nd in the world, and Alina Svitolina, ranked 8th. There are 2 of the most dangerous players on the planet. Rybakina was defeated by Alex Eala. Then she returned to same Berlin court and defeated Svitolina twice in a row. 2 winners of the Grand Slam. On grass. As a wild card in the same competition. This was stated publicly on record by Greg Ruski, a professional tennis player who competed at Wimbledon more times than most people can remember, reached the top 5 in the world, and played for more than 10 years. Beating Rybakina and Svitolina back-to-back is so impressive, he remarked. It was only a matter of time until she made that breakthrough, he added. He claimed that because she is left-handed and the ball slides away with a slicing serve, the grass courts benefit her. I can't wait to see what it will be like in her opening match at Wimbledon this year, he continued. A previous member of the world's top 5 stated that he is eager to observe her. Allow that to land. This is the part, though, that no one is saying aloud. Birmingham is not Wimbledon. Berlin is not Wimbledon. The largest tennis competition in the world is Wimbledon. Aryna Sabalenka is ranked 1st, Elena Rybakina is ranked 2nd, Iga Swiatek is defending the title, Coco Gauff is ranked 3rd, and Mira Andreeva, who recently won the French Open, is ranked 4th. These athletes have a long history of winning Grand Slams. These are the athletes who train daily for this occasion. The 29th seed is Alex Eala. She is 21 years old and will see a top 8 player at Wimbledon if she wins her first 3 games. Last year, she lost in the first round at Wimbledon, not the second. She has never pursued a major in depth. At a Grand Slam, she has never won more than 4 matches. The form of a grass court is authentic. The ranking is accurate. The seed is authentic and significant. However, there is actual competition. This is the video's honest question. Do you think she has a good chance of making it to the Wimbledon quarterfinal? Be truthful. Tell us whether you agree or disagree in the comment section right now. Because you will want that statement to remain there when she arrives and you made the initial call. Let's return to the number. 29th seed, 2026 Wimbledon. The first Filipino in history, period. Not the first time this year. Not the first in a long time. The first time ever. No Filipino player had ever entered that draw as a seed in more than a century at #Wimbledon. Additionally, since Tamarine Tanasugarn of Thailand in 2009, she is the first player from all of Southeast Asia to be seeded at a Grand Slam. 17 years. In 17 years, no one from this entire region of the world, hundreds of millions of people spread over several nations, had earned a Wimbledon seed. Years. This Pasig city girl, who was initially trained by a grandfather using a basket of balls, flew to Spain at the age of 13 without a plan, was blasted off the court in Rome, returned in silence, and defeated 2 Grand Slam winners on grass in the same week, is that person. On national television, Manny Pacquiao witnessed it as well. The greatest Filipino athlete in history, the man who represented this nation in the ring for decades and made everyone say, Philippines, whenever he left the ring. After watching Alex Eala play tennis, the man remarked, I'm so proud of her. Greg Rusedski, a former Wimbledon competitor, expressed it even more succinctly. He referred to her as the Philippine equivalent of Manny Pacquiao. Consider what it means to be the Philippine equivalent of Manny Pacquiao. Means. It's not a tennis compliment. It's a compliment that comes only once in a generation. Someone is claiming that this athlete is more than merely skilled at a certain sport. This athlete represents a national identity. A nation may point to this player and say, look what one of us can do. Manny Pacquiao, the first Filipino, and the 29th seed are all watching. This is the part of the story that will stick with you, though. After Alex defeated Rybakina and Svitolina in Berlin and sat down for an interview, someone asked her about Wimbledon and what it meant to be seeded there for the first time. She replied, "To be a seed in a slam." For me, Wimbledon in particular really touches close to home because home for Alex Eala is not just the Philippines. Home is a court in Pasig City. Home is a grandfather who showed up every day with a basket of tennis balls. Home is a man named Lolo Bob. He had no idea how to get a girl to Wimbledon. In 2019, he passed away. He was never in Miami. Berlin was never seen by him. The seed was never seen by him. However, she stated it herself. He was the one that worked hard and showed up every day, she added. A large portion of my foundation, my mindset, his strong love and sacrifice are the source of my courage on the court. On June 29th, she enters Wimbledon as the 29th seed. There won't be her granddad in the stands. However, you will see him in every shot if you watch her play. Observe how she handles herself, observe how she doesn't panic when things get difficult, and observe how she just returns to work after a defeat. 115 million people are watching because that is Alex Eala. Manny Pacquiao stopped what he was doing and expressed his pride for this reason. Wimbledon begins on June 29th. The 29th seed is Alex Eala. This weekend is the draw. So, we're asking you directly, how far does she go? Exit from the first round? A quarter-final? Does she make history once more and surpass all previous Filipino women in a Grand Slam? This story is far from ended, so leave your prediction in the comments section right now. It's not even near the end. You'll want to remark, "You saw it coming," when it occurs.